Why do you stand here looking into heaven? Dear friends, the Acts of the Apostles describe to us how Jesus was lifted up to heaven on the day of his ascension. The disciples look up to heaven, and as they stand watching, the angels greet them and say, "Why do you stand here looking into heaven? The same Jesus whom you saw being lifted up to heaven will come down." This is a corrective intervention by the angels. Ascension is not a feast where we are immersed in the skies. Ascension is a feast where we look at Jesus, who brings us very close to this world and to one another. There is a beautiful story written by C.S. Lewis in which 4 young people are taken to a huge farm estate, and they are housed in a farm house. It's an old grand house. When they got familiar with that house, they began exploring the various parts of the house. These children, Peter, Edmund, Susan and Lucy, they went into a big hall which was empty. There was only a wardrobe there. Lucy went in to see what could be in the wardrobe. She opened, expecting to see nothing, but to her surprise she found fur coats hanging. She went into the wardrobe, and then she felt that she was brushed by the branches of trees, and she sees a light ahead of her where she expected to see the back portion of the wardrobe. Then, in a second, she is escorted into a beautiful wonderland garden, and there she is lost in the beauty of the garden. After a few seconds, she comes back to the wardrobe, and she is once again in her familiar situations. This little story could give us an understanding of what ascension is. Ascension is speaking to us about the 2 dimensions of Christ. And the wardrobe is the portal through which we can enter into both these dimensions. Jesus had a human dimension, and now he's entering into a dimension where he becomes omnipresent. Luke also explains this incident as an incident where the cloud came and covered Jesus from their sight. Cloud plays an important role in the ascension scene. In the Jewish mentality and the tradition of the Jewish people, cloud is the presence of God. When the Israelites were on a pilgrimage in the desert, God accompanied them in the form of a cloud. In the tabernacle, where the Holy of Holies is present, God was present in the form of a cloud. Moses could not enter the Holy of Holies because of the holy presence of God there. Cloud reminded them of the holy, protective presence of God in their midst. When we read that Jesus was covered with a cloud and taken away from their sight, what do we understand? We understand that God is close to his people with his protective arms, guiding them and guarding them. Another incident from the Bible speaks about Elijah being taken up to heaven in a chariot. As he is lifted up, he threw his cloak on Elisha, who was looking up to him. He was clothed with the power of Elijah. In the same way as Jesus was lifted up, he clothed his disciples and all of us with his power. We are often confronted with the tragedies and sorrows of life. We feel helpless and weak in front of them. The Feast of Ascension enables us to see the protective power of God around these human experiences. Hence, Ascension is a feast of victory for the Christian. He is victorious over the tragedies of life confronting him. The apostles went back joyful from this experience of the Ascension. May the celebration of Ascension assist us to live our life joyfully, empowered by the Lord. May God bless you.